Do you know why people are poor? Why does the majority of the planet's population have financial difficulties? It seems that the answer is on the surface. Everyone who got rich had more opportunities, more connections and acquaintances to create their financial success. But in reality, it is not like that at all. The majority of people are born with the same opportunities and only a third of them use them correctly. That third knew exactly what they had to do to get rich. Robert Kiyosaki believes that we cannot get rich because we are not properly educated. This is why Kiyosaki believes that people must urgently take responsibility for their financial education and start getting the right knowledge as early as possible in order to become financially successful. Today, I am going to share this knowledge with you because it has been available for a long time. In his book dedicated to financial education, Robert Kiyosaki reveals all the steps to increase your financial intelligence and eventually get rich. This is the main channel on finance. Here, you can find everything about financial success, so subscribe. Robert Kiyosaki divides financial intelligence into 5 cornerstones. The businessman claims that if each of them is developed proportionally, monetary success will not keep you waiting. The first part of financial intelligence is learning how to make more money. It seems logical, we go to work to get money, but unfortunately, that is not the point. First of all, you should not work to make money, but to learn how to make much more money. Let me give you an example. Kiyosaki's first job was deliberately chosen with a lower salary so that Robert could learn how to sell. Thanks to this experience, he was later able to open his own company. No book or seminar can replace real experience in the field. In practice, a person learns much faster and more effectively. Choose the job that will give you more knowledge and experience for further realization, not just a good salary at the end of the month. In addition, Kiyosaki points out the importance of hardships. To learn how to make more money, Robert strongly recommends not giving up when you encounter challenges along the way, because they are what allow you to learn how to solve problems and increase your financial intelligence. Fixed one problem? Move on to the next one. By solving more difficult problems, you gain valuable experience that allows you to increase your financial knowledge. Also, solve other people's money problems. No, this is not about lending money to your neighbor. If you have the opportunity, help a person solve financial difficulties with advice, analysis of their current situation, and so on. Kiyosaki is sure that this is one of the main secrets to increasing income. This advice is supported by the fact that the more serious problems a company solves, the more successful it becomes. The same is true for an individual. The more experience you gain by solving various problems, even not your own, the better you will be trained in how to make more money. The second part of financial intelligence is knowing how to protect your finances. Kiyosaki says that the world is full of predators who want to take your money. A person must learn how to give these predators as little money as possible. Set a goal to pay less wherever possible. Kiyosaki gives some great examples. For instance, we are swindled by banks. Promising 10% annual interest on your savings, they give your money away as a loan at 20 or even 30%. Kiyosaki also includes brokers and financial advisors as predators. These people often have no real experience in finance, don't realize that the rules of money have changed, and give outdated and risky advice at high prices. And there are dozens of other examples. The main thing to do about it? First, don't believe anyone. Unfortunately, our world is built in such a way that most people just want to profit from our problems. Protect your money and use only experienced lawyers, accountants, and tax specialists. And perhaps most importantly, learn to manage your finances yourself. Stop trusting fake experts to manage your money and learn all the financial issues yourself. Take your time, learn at your own pace, but then you will be sure that no one is going to cheat you. Financial IQ Part 3 is about knowing how to manage your money. Now that you have protected your money and succeeded in earning much more than before, you need to learn how to create a budget surplus. In simple words, the excess of income over expenses. First of all, you need to understand the most important truth. It is impossible to have a surplus if you spend a lot of money. Robert says that no matter how much a person earns, it is important to first learn how to pay yourself and make asset acquisition a priority. Savings and investments are the most important, but this can also include courses, sports subscriptions, and charity. Kiyosaki believes that a person should enjoy life and even when things are difficult, continue to maintain a certain level of it, spend on assets, and use the first element of financial intelligence to make even more money. Imagine that you have given up all benefits for the sake of wealth. Your morale, motivation, and any desire to achieve new things will be at zero. It's important to maintain a fighting spirit, which is the essence of Kiyosaki's advice to maintain a certain standard of living, but it should be in moderation. In addition, Robert recommends writing down your expenses. The author compares this information to a crystal ball. It is very easy to predict a person's financial future just by looking at their expenses. A person who spends the most on assets, investments, savings, etc. will inevitably get richer. On the other hand, a person who spends the most on consumer goods and other material goods will end up with nothing. Control your expenses, analyze their status, and make adjustments when you realize that you have taken a wrong turn. In addition, Robert Kiyosaki suggests that you remember another truth forever. Your assets should pay for your liabilities. As I mentioned earlier, the businessman believes that everyone should enjoy their life. But here, it is important to determine who will pay for it. For example, you have decided to buy a nice car for yourself. Calculate its cost and add the monthly maintenance. Now, the most important thing is that before you buy a car, you must make it an asset of yours to pay for it. That is, you need to find something that will generate enough money to cover your car expenses. For example, a rental property can do this. The key idea is that you don't just spend money to buy goods that satisfy you. You first create a new source of income. Use all your previously learned knowledge of the first and second parts of financial intelligence, and eventually come out on the plus side and acquire the desired material goods. And if you're facing financial difficulties, then it's time to spend even more money. Surprising advice, isn't it? Here's how Robert Kiyosaki explains it. Usually, when a business is in financial trouble, they desperately start cutting back on spending, when in fact, they need to increase their marketing and advertising spending to revive sales. The same is true for a person. If you are in financial trouble, you should increase your spending on assets, those things that generate income or perhaps take on what is known as good debt. This term refers to borrowing money to buy assets. Kiyosaki always pointed out the positive aspects of good debt, and along with analyzing and recording your expenses, the ability to acquire assets, even to pay for liabilities, will 100% develop the third element of financial intelligence. The fourth part of financial IQ is about what everyone needs to do to make money. It will be about investing. Robert Kiyosaki says that investing plays a key role in the strategy for achieving financial independence. He cautions against limiting yourself to traditional investments such as savings accounts or bonds, and instead suggests looking at other types of investments. Real estate, for example. Kiyosaki places great emphasis on investing in this area. He believes that investing in real estate can provide a steady passive income in the form of rent payments and appreciation of square footage over time. The next option is securities. Various financial instruments such as stocks can help build a portfolio that generates income and grows over time. One other type is business investments. Kiyosaki supports the idea of starting your own business or investing in business ventures. He believes that entrepreneurship can be one of the most powerful ways to create wealth. Robert emphasizes that investing requires learning and recommends that readers deepen their knowledge of financial markets and investment strategies. By understanding this area in more detail, you will be able to boost the fourth element of financial intelligence. You're almost there. Remember, each fragment is incredibly important and cannot exist without the other. In the end, you will be waiting for an additional secret key to wealth that is used by all billionaires. But for now, let us move on to the fifth piece of financial intelligence. It should consist of knowing how to properly manage the information available to you. Kiyosaki remembers his younger years in Vietnam. When he was in the army, part of his job was to collect and process top-secret information. It was then that Robert realized its importance, and he realized even more the importance of knowing how to handle it. If you analyze information correctly and understand its essence, it will be your greatest asset, says Kiyosaki. We are living in the age of information. Information equals wealth. The main advantage of the modern age is that information is now valuable, accessible, free, and there is more than enough of it. The main flaw, however, is that information is valuable, accessible, free, and there is more than enough of it. In other words, too much information kills information. And to know how to use it properly, you must develop your fifth element of financial intelligence. To deal with information overload, you must first learn how to categorize data. Ask yourself questions as, is the information relevant? Is it reliable? What is the source of the information you are receiving? Is it valuable? Can the information be compared with other information? This allows us to see trends. Is it fact or opinion? A fact is something that can be verified, while an opinion is just an idea that is not guaranteed to be useful. Kiyosaki recommends making decisions based on hard facts. Following the advice of a financial professional and investing your money in a diversified portfolio of mutual funds is a typical example of a poor financial decision based solely on opinion. With the ability to analyze information, you can identify cycles and trends and anticipate market ups and downs. 90 Days to Riches. The most important thing is the evaluation system. You have to see your results, states Kiyosaki. Robert drew attention to the fact that you should not be afraid to use new techniques to achieve wealth. In particular, he notes a system called 90 Days. You will have the ability to correctly assess your progress. You will understand how far you are from your desired goals, states Kiyosaki. The essence of the methodology is very simple. At the end of each trimester, ask yourself the following questions. What have I accomplished in the last 3 months? What makes me more confident? What 5 new goals will I set for the next 90 days? Come up with a few more individual questions about your money goals. At the end of each period of intense work, it's helpful to take a mini vacation time when you can watch TV all day, eat good food, and do nothing while thinking about new goals. Such practice helps to rest after hard work and reboot your brain before the next 90 days of work. Here it is important to pull yourself together and not let procrastination consume you completely. Allow yourself only a couple of days off, no more. Such careful progress tracking allows you to clearly see your achievements. Unfortunately, many people don't even remember what they ate for lunch 3 days ago, let alone the last 90 days. It turns out they just don't see their victories, get frustrated, and eventually give up. We remember every failure in all the colors and experience it very painfully. That's our psychology. If all our achievements are in front of our eyes, we will always be inspired and filled with vitality, says Kiyosaki. Shifting the focus from spending to investing. Robert Kiyosaki is considered one of the best investors in the world. He has repeatedly stated that the rich don't work for money, money works for them. This is the main rule of the future millionaire. Kiyosaki is sure that investments are the future. Once again, he urges people to pay attention to various options: the real estate market, modern tools in the form of cryptocurrencies, stocks, bonds, and so on. Everything can be your key to success. Investments are a bright future for you and your children. Think about how and where you can invest your savings rather than just spending it on your own, sometimes on a whim. But shifting your focus isn't just about the investing process, Kiyosaki emphasizes. It's important not to forget about financial literacy. Understand exactly where your money goes and why. Proper control of personal finances is a major weapon in the fight against poverty, asserts Kiyosaki. Focus on results, not habits or processes. In a polite conversation, most will say they admire successful people for their hard work, positive habits, and ironclad principles. That's not true. The only thing most people really care about is the fortune in their account. Everything else is hype, states Kiyosaki. If you think about this statement, you will realize that it is indeed true. It's the results, not the process, that counts. It's not the effort that counts, but it's material equivalent. Of course, they say that results don't matter, but it's complete nonsense. Make these people lose what they have already achieved and stay on the street. They will instantly change their minds. We admire billionaires not for their personal qualities, but for their accomplishments. It's their billions that have made them popular. It's their mansions that make us set the same goals and dream at night. You decided to become a millionaire because you probably dream of a big house and an expensive car, and that's not a bad thing. It is the goal that defines the process, not the other way around. Moreover, the results also determine the process. If you're not getting what you want, you need to adjust your process differently. Don't do the same thing over and over again. Expecting different results is crazy. A goal is a means to growth and progress. When we set ourselves more and more goals, we grow, states Robert. Look for ways to improve yourself or your business. Constantly think about how to double your income. Calculate your daily value and think about how to increase that number, says Kiyosaki. If you make $100 a day, try doubling it. What do you do to improve your daily rate? If you make 10 phone calls a day, double the number to 20. If you're babysitting one child, find a way to increase your results by opening your daycare to 50 children. Of course, it would be better to maintain or improve the quality of your work when you are engaged in these efforts. Always look for better ways to increase your income, whether in business or at work. If you have a paying job, consider ways to generate passive income that will help strengthen your earnings. Robert repeatedly says, if you don't have a plan to become rich, then you have a plan to become poor. This is a powerful truth. Because many people who think they are free, in fact, are not. We are all living according to a plan. Every day we wake up in the morning at the time determined by the employer. We take the same route to work and we have strictly limited hours for our lunch break. This style of life imposed by the system is very beneficial for the government and business people. Kiyosaki believes that your brain is programmed to make other people rich in this way. However, you should consider that billionaires always move against the current, trying to free their heads from financial stereotypes. By thinking otherwise, they attract millions into their wallets and do not scatter money to please others. The following tips from Robert Kiyosaki will help you break the habits of poverty and are guaranteed to fill your life with wealth. Money loves attention. For now, this is the most straightforward and somewhat banal advice, but it is the one that could save you from poverty. After reading a few books on personal finance, you will realize how important it is to make sure that your expenses do not exceed your income. The best way to do this is to create a budget. Once you see how the cost of your morning coffee goes up over a month, you'll realize that small manageable changes to your day-to-day expenses can have just as significant an impact on your financial situation as a pay raise. Take the proven path. How do you become rich if you have some skills? Of course, monetize them. And a lot of people are good at it. In 90% of cases, the problem is that people give up self-development, believing their skills are enough, or they are engaged in development in a narrow area. Meanwhile, your brain cannot stand still. Only if you pay attention to something will it develop. All rich people are multifunctional. Their views and skills most often go beyond human understanding. Moreover, neuropsychological research has shown that the more areas you develop, the more flexible your brain is, which means you will stay at the peak of your mental abilities longer. Set aside at least 30 minutes a day to develop something, even if it is some kind of skill that fascinates you personally and you have not yet found a use for. Believe me, one day you will need it. Anyway, such exercises for the brain will prove themselves in other activities. Forget the words, "the day after tomorrow." Thumbs up if you like to put off most things for later, because many people tend to live not only for tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. They wonder, how do I get rich? But they never take action. They are waiting for the circumstances to turn out well and for the right time to come. This is a trick of the brain that does not want to change anything. It wants to remain in a safe stability. It's the same comfort zone. Of course, you shouldn't just jump out of it to get into chronic stress. Just get started today. Make a list of plans. Think it over for at least 1 hour and honestly cross out what you are going to do for more than a year. Plan what actions depend only on you and make a calendar. Start working on success beginning today and move according to the action plan. Even though these are minor changes, they will gradually grow like a snowball. Decide what brings you joy. Money follows joy, but joy never follows the money. It's a delusion to think, I will get rich now and I will live afterwards, which leads people to the point where money does not bring happiness. But if you do what you love and enjoy doing, it will be much easier for you to make money. A person who has many claims to life, a job they hate, and is in a destructive relationship creates a cage for themselves. And at some point, this cell captures all spheres of life, including financial ones. When you begin to enjoy work, surround yourself with people who inspire and encourage you. Everything will be much easier to create without things like, it's necessary and you must. In crises, you will see opportunities and start thinking outside the box. Cushions save lives. One of Robert Kiyosaki's most frequently repeated personal finance mantras is pay yourself first. No matter how much you owe in student loans or on a credit card, and no matter how low your salary may seem, it's wise to find any amount of money in your budget to set aside every month in an emergency fund. Trust me, such a financial cushion will save your life one day. Having savings to use for emergencies can keep you out of financial trouble and help you sleep better at night. Also, get in the habit of putting money aside and treating it like a non-negotiable monthly expense. You'll soon have more than just emergency money saved up. You'll have your retirement money, vacation pay, or even down payment for the house. It's easy to deposit funds into a savings account, but it has almost no interest. And don't be afraid to try and invest that, like in a business, or look for deposit-like financial instruments. Otherwise, inflation will undermine the value of your savings. Key money wisdom. Poor people always work for money, while rich people make money work for them, is one of the primary quotes of Robert Kiyosaki in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It defined not only the difference between wealth and poverty, but also the value of freedom. Yes, you have no control over the prices in the store, but you can control your desire to make an extra purchase. You cannot influence the economic situation in the world, but you can always be prepared for the worst. You are capable of changing your life, and nothing in this world can stop you. Get rid of the system life and just take a step towards big money. And that's all I have. It's the main channel about money. Subscribe and get rich.